What's up, people? In this video, John Boy, 2 million views for pulling a 48 and eating steak. Haven't watched it, but must be a hot girl. I'm gonna say it's a hot girl, but I have no idea. I do not know. So let's take a look, Reno. You guys have any more suggestions? Let me know.
What up, y'all? How's it going? Deen here, and for the past 48 hours...
Is this a famous person? Yeah, 600,000 subscribers. Okay. Like, watching this stuff, it's... I don't know. I wonder, like, what's the secret? Oh, yeah, okay, no problem. No problem. I don't smoke, but no problem, no problem. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how this happens. Like, the guy doesn't eat for 2 days, eats a steak, and gets 2 million views. Anyway.
I've consumed nothing but clean, cold, high-quality H2O. No food products whatsoever. No coffee, that was very difficult. No tea, no drinks, and not even any gum. You know, I wanted to do some gum sometimes just to get some flavors on the taste buds, but there might be some sugar in there. I'm telling you, I drank nothing but water for the past 2 days, and I'm going to be breaking that fast with a $70 ribeye steak, and I can't wait to dig into this. This is looking so juicy and tender and amazing. This is by far the most expensive steak I've ever eaten, and by far the longest I've ever gone without eating anything. This is kind of a follow-up on a video I did a while ago, which got a lot of interest. It was a mukbang after not eating for 40 hours, but that time, it was kind of unplanned. It was only 40 hours, which is a weird number. For that video, I was drinking coffee as well, so it wasn't a pure water fast, and the food, I had a lot of food, but it wasn't that good. I mean, it was from a buffet. It was all food that I liked, so, you know, I did definitely enjoy it, but this is kind of the opposite, you know. This is a small amount, but really good food. I almost kind of see this as just an experiment, just to see what will happen, because why not? It has been pretty difficult. I'll talk a little bit more about that as I eat, but let me just show you the steak real quick. This thing is looking mighty fine, man. It's feeling tender, juicy. You can see some of the juices down there. I got this medium rare, and it was from a good steakhouse here in Seoul. So let me just cut into this. I'm gonna go for a big bite right off the bat. No small bites. I think this is looking like a pretty good bite to start off with, man. Let me show you that. This is the end piece. I mean, it's looking good. I think the middle will get a little bit more red as you go in, but I mean, this is looking perfect for me. And oh my God, I can't wait. I kind of want to say a little prayer, but man, let's go for it.
So I think that's interesting what he said, where he said he kind of wants to say a little prayer, right? And I've felt that way also after fasting. It's like you don't eat for so long, and you look forward to eating the food, and then when you have it in front of you, like the anticipation builds and builds and builds, and you honestly feel like you should say thank you to like whoever exists in the world for providing you with this opportunity to eat. The reason I think that's interesting is because in pretty much every religion, or at least in Judaism and Christianity, I'm sure it's the same in Islam, but like in Christianity, what do you do before a meal? Or at least what I saw, because I went to Christian school for 3 years when I was in junior high. I saw a lot of people, or you know what happens, basically like you're about to sit down and eat, everybody like joins hands and they close their eyes and they're like, "Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this meal. You're glorious, blah, 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 like in your name we pray, amen," right? And then everyone sits down and starts eating, right? In Judaism, it's a little bit different. The prayers are a little bit more structured. Like you say the exact same prayer every single time, like the same words, not just like, it's less of the overall notion of just saying thank you, and more you have to say these exact words before you do it. It's more, I don't know, not formalized, but it's more structured, I guess. And Islam, I'm sure they have something similar. But it's kind of interesting. Is this guy, he's like a mukbang person or something? Deen. I wonder if he is a mukbang person. What is he? Yeah, mukbang person. Interesting. Last meal before starting a juice cleanse. Lots of pizza. All right, well, enjoy, brother.
Man, that is something else, man. I can't. I'm feeling invigorated already. I can't lie. I've been feeling real wobbly and almost a little bit weak. Pretty weak for the past couple days. And right after that first bite, it was like a flow of just like blood rushing to my head, man. Wow, that is amazing. Good color, tender, juicy, flavorful, and delicious. Oh, this is too good right now. I kind of want to savor it, but at the same time, I'm just so hungry. I just want to just gobble it all down. So I'm trying my hardest to not gobble it all down. Oh man, I'm speechless, man. I'm speechless. Oh my God, it's getting better as you get in the middle. This is the best steak I've ever had, hands down. There's no disputing it. I'm not sure if I would say that if I was. That's an interesting thing. You know, if I was really full and I had the steak, I would admit I could definitely acknowledge it's a definitely good steak, but it wouldn't hit me in the same visceral way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I could probably eat some food that I don't even like that much, and it would still be pretty tasty. You know how you hear people who are like stranded out in the forest, and you know they don't eat for a few days, and they find some wild berries and eat the berries, and it's like the best thing they've ever eaten.
So that's interesting to note. There's I saw this on King of the Hill. You guys know the old like cartoon King of the Hill. There is I forget what it was, but I think they had some Laotian neighbors, right? Their neighbors were from Laos, and one of the dad was like telling a story. It was like a proverb, right? He's telling it to like the redneck guys or Hank, whatever, and his friends, and he tells a story about a man who was running from a tiger, and he somehow like, you know, he's like running from a tiger, and he ends up falling off a cliff, you know, and halfway down, or like a little bit, you know, whatever, 10 meters down, whatever, he grabs onto a branch, right? And the tiger's like waiting above him. So he sees that above him, if he tries to climb back up, the tiger's going to get him. But if he lets go of the branch, he's going to fall to his death, right? And on the branch, he sees a single strawberry. So he's holding onto the branch, and he like reaches out and he grabs the strawberry and he eats the strawberry. And it was the sweetest strawberry that he'd ever had, the most delicious piece of food he's ever had in his life, right? And the way the guy in the show tells it, has this very like profound effect on you when you watch it, right? It's like, you know, it's very profound. But the like Hank and his friends, like, they don't get it. They think it's a joke, and they're like, that's not a funny joke, or they like pretend to laugh and like, ha, that's a funny joke, I get it, something like that. That's number one. Number two, what I noticed when I started doing the Warrior Diet, which I recommend that you should read, which I highly recommend that you should all read. Sorry, I'm like doing this in a cafe. There's like so much going on around. It's hard for me to concentrate. So in the Warrior Diet, what he recommends, or maybe I just noticed this on my own, is that when I wouldn't eat all day, it would be much easier for me to eat healthy food because anything I ate would taste good because I was so hungry. So it makes it much easier to choose the healthy food choice, because you're like, well, I'm starving, I haven't eaten anything all day, and I just crushed a workout in the gym. You know, I'll go eat a salad. Like, who cares? Like, give me that salad. I'll eat it right now, you know? And he seems to have realized that on his own.
It's kind of a similar thing, except this ain't no berries, man. This ain't no berries. Oh my god. So yeah, anyway, I was gonna talk about some things. I don't even really feel like talking anymore. But there's probably some of you were wondering like why I'm doing this. Oh my god, the middle is so tender. Oh my gosh, I'm really not overreacting, guys. This is legit reactions for me. Yeah, but anyway, basically, like I said, I was trying to do a follow up on my video I did a while ago, which got a lot of interest. So and I kind of, like I said, just wanted to try the same kind of concept but in a different way. And so that's why I went with this steak. And hopefully you guys will find it interesting as well. So last time I only went 40 hours without eating. Like I said, I had coffee during that time as well. This time, 48 hours, a full 2 days. Not that much longer, but it was definitely a lot harder. This time around was very difficult for me. Mainly because, so the first time I did it, 40 hours, I had a big dinner, or a huge meal at night. It wasn't even a dinner, it was like a late night dinner. I had a big meal at night, basically slept, spent the whole next day not eating, slept, woke up, did some stuff, and then filmed that video. So that ended up being 40 hours. This time around, I ate in the afternoon, around lunchtime, and I had to endure until night, sleep, take the whole next day off of eating, and then sleep, and then here I am today. So the first time I did it, I only had to, like the first day, wasn't really a day, because I ate and then I slept pretty quickly afterwards. But this time around, adding those extra 8 hours, or extra 8 hours of being awake and being hungry, so it was definitely difficult. Yesterday, and even today, so yesterday I had a headache the whole day pretty much, and I don't really get headaches randomly these days. I used to a lot as a kid, not a lot, but I would just get random headaches. But these days, honestly, I can't remember the last time I had a random headache. So I was thinking, you know, it might be because I'm hungry, it might be because I'm getting a cold. You know, I can't really confirm that one way or the other, because it did get really cold here in Seoul. And I was like, my body was really cold as well. That was another thing that was kind of weird about that experience. Like, I felt like I was coming down with something.
Symptoms of caffeine withdrawal is you get a headache, right? Is that not? Do people not know that, right? That's one of the reasons it's so hard to stop drinking coffee, is because you get a splitting headache. If even honestly, like, well, okay, these days I drink a lot more coffee than I should, but even when I was having 1 cup a day, caffeine withdrawal headache, right? Headaches are the most commonly reported symptom of caffeine withdrawal. So obviously, like, you don't eat, including, you know, you don't have any coffee, you're gonna have a headache, you're gonna feel terrible. So, you know, obviously. but like it's even a couple hours after I miss my first cup. I don't feel good really. Like I just need that first cup of the day. Like I need it as soon as I wake up. Um, but yeah, like obviously, uh, good clickbait, really good clickbait. And I think the appeal of this video is that he's just enjoying himself so much as he eats it, right? And if you fasted before, I guess you can relate. And if you haven't fasted, maybe you can. A $70 steak is not. I don't know. He said he's in Korea, but a $70 steak is not. It's not the most expensive steak you could eat. In fact, I would say probably to not eat the most expensive steak that you could. One time I went to Mastro's with a friend of mine, which is a restaurant. I think they have it in other places, not just California, but they're known for having like craziest stuff on the menu. And we got Kobe beef steaks. We got a ton of other stuff, but the steaks were so rich, so marbled, and like I don't want to say it melts in your mouth, but you take a bite and it's just like it's not tough at all. Like you chew right through it. It's hard to explain. Anyway, the food was so rich, and I had fasted all day because I knew we were going there for dinner and I wanted to be able to eat a lot. But the food was so rich. Not just that, we ate a ton of like really rich food, and I was paying for it the entire next day. Like my stomach, I was just dying. But this seems like lean enough that like he won't have that problem.
But I just endured it, and today I woke up just feeling not as much of a headache, but just super weak. To be honest, my body, like, I felt like I had a body high and kind of like a head high as well. Just like I felt kind of under the influence of something, which was weird. No headache this time. I just felt weak and just kind of like tingly. Maybe just it was a kind of a weird thing. Oh my God. I wouldn't recommend anyone to try this, I guess, unless you really look into it. I couldn't imagine myself doing any kind of physical activity, working out, or even exerting much physical effort whatsoever. Like I just laid low that entire time, and I was still feeling weird. Imagine exerting like a lot of energy and still not being able to eat that energy back would be kind of I can't. Yeah, that would be real tough. I wouldn't recommend this to anybody, even if you do look it up. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people like, oh, fasting is terrible for your body, and other people are like, oh, fasting is like great for your body. This isn't for any health reasons, to be honest. I'm not doing it for that. I'm just doing it for just to see just for the experience, man. And I gotta say, I feel 200 times better than I did before I ate already, which might be kind of obvious. So I'm guessing that those symptoms weren't cold symptoms. Maybe it's a little bit of a mix, but basically just because I was not eating. And yeah, I don't know. This is just I'm glad I tried something like this. Bit my tongue. Forgot to chew.
So just touch on really quick what he said about working out while fasted. You can try it, right? I would recommend it. I used to recommend it for people across the board. It depends what kind of workouts you're doing. If honestly, like I can't really recommend it for anybody who's not an experienced gym person, let's say. Like if you don't work out regularly, I don't know if you should work out. I'm not saying don't work out while fasted, but don't work out at the beginning of your fast and then continue to fast. You know what I mean? Because it'll accelerate the effectiveness of your fast, especially if you're doing lots of cardio. And I know, like, I just triggered some of like the skeleton people who watch this who are like, oh my God, really? If I fast and do cardio, I'll lose even more weight? Like, oh my God, I'm gonna go do it right now. Not a good idea. But earlier in the year, when I was first kind of doing the snake diet, I was fasting a lot and I was doing Muay Thai workouts. I've said this a million times, but basically I was doing 2-a-days. I was running several miles a day, doing like really long like boxing workouts, very cardio heavy, and I lost a lot of weight very fast, like surprisingly fast. Because, you know, I was watching Snake Diet Guy's videos and he talks about, oh, do a 48, do a 72, and I was like, oh my God, why is this like 48-hour fast so hard for me? And it was because I was like working out like 2 or 3 times in that 48 hours, or even 2 times. It was very intense. It was very hard. So, you know, work your way up to it. Don't feel like you need to jump right in.
Other people out there might be like into fasting, because I know there's people who do fasting as a thing for multiple days on end. And you might be looking at me like, man, only 2 days, like that's weak as hell. You gotta do at least like 3 days for any results. But like I said, I'm not looking for any results or whatever. I'm just doing it purely just as kind of a mental experiment. See if I can do it and see what this would taste like after those 2 days. And also, you might think I'm fibbing about not eating for 2 days, but I mean, you can think what you want to think. It's there that you gotta just make up your mind on that. Last piece here. This was a good one. This was a very good one. I envy people who could eat this like any day of the week. It's a really high quality steak. Or maybe not. Then you get used to it, and then you wouldn't have an experience like this. Like sometimes you gotta have those experiences that just blow your mind a little bit. Like I just had. That was the epitome of mighty fine, and I love eating. It's like sometimes you don't realize how much you love eating until you, or just love doing something until you stop it. 'Cause especially me, like sometimes I feel like I gotta eat for a video because when something becomes your job, I mean, then you kind of like I gotta do this as a job. You kind of can maybe think negatively on it. And even when I'm eating, when I'm not filming, I'm thinking, well, man, I should save this for a video. Or it's like I have all these things in my head about regarding eating just in everyday life. But I love eating, and that's just a nice little reminder. Anyway, that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I sure enjoyed that steak. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed watching this video. I mean, I don't really enjoy watching any of these videos. Well, some of them I do, but this one, like, the guy's like very down to earth, and there's no pretense here. There's no bullshit. There's no fakeness. This is all like authentic. This is an authentic human being. Or maybe it's because he fasted, and that brings out your authenticity. Because like when you don't eat, all of the all the BS just kind of like fades away. But good for him. He tried it. He looks like a skinny dude. I don't think he really needs to fast. Like this whole notion of like, oh, you have to fast if you're skinny. I don't know if he works out. Maybe he's just like random like skinny Korean guy. But yeah, good for him. He tried it. I won't like. If you look like this, if you're like a skinny person normally and you don't eat for 2 days and you fast, I'm not gonna be like, oh, only 2 days, pathetic. If you are clearly like indulging in foods you should not be indulging in on a regular basis, maybe 2 days isn't the longest time, but good for him. Like, I don't know, this was good. I understand like this comment, John Void. Like, I get it. Like, pulling a 48 and eating a steak, that's true. But like when you take a mainstream idea and you take it to the mainstream, and you give your like authentic impression of it, then it's very popular. Just look at the Joe Rogan podcast. It's like all he does. He takes these like non-mainstream ideas and puts them on his podcast. Has like 3 million, I don't know, 50 million people that listen to it. I don't really know. I also don't really listen to it. I just know that like that's what he talks about. Cool. Anyway, you guys got any more? Let me know. Peace.